Hello there. Happy Monday. Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name's Alyssa from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight. That schedule's changing a little bit, but typically I'm here most weeknights at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So thanks again for joining me. We are starting the last embroidery for the ABC quilt. We are on Mr. Zebra here. So we're gonna start him today. We'll be working over the chain stitch a whole lot in this, and I'm super duper excited. Last letter, everyone. Crazy. I mean, we have the whole quilt to make yet. So we'll be here a while yet, but man, a lot happens in a year, I guess. So, all right, you guys, let's get stitching. Okay. I'm gonna shimmy sham you guys over. Okay, so here we are. We already transferred it to fabric when we did the yak. So last week we did the yak, which is this feller here. We didn't quite finish him. We have to, I mean, the only thing that's not done is trimming the Ys. So we started trimming the large Y, so that one definitely looks better. You can tell it looks like a Y. And then this small Y, we haven't done any trimming on whatsoever. So we'll come back and do some of that later in the week, or maybe next week, whenever we have time for it. But I still want to trim this Y a little bit too. And I'm kind of wondering if maybe now that it's out of the hoop, it'll be a little bit easier to trim. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's that guy. So if you can't tell, we use the turkey work stitch, and it is super floofy. So it's almost like a pom-pom that we've stitched onto here. So that was kind of fun. A hairy yak with some hairy letters. It's just silly. So, all right, that was last week. And here we go. We already transferred this just because I was not sure. We've been doing construction on our upstairs because we're trying to put in a second bathroom to our house in our little like half attic space. But anyway, so I didn't know if I'd be in my normal area here. So I pre-ironed this on last week when we did the yak. And just in case I had to like do this in like the spare bedroom or something. Ooh, Grace says, I'm loving the text message. Okay, awesome. So we just sent an email out today about our new text message thing. So the whole reason behind that again is, well, first of all, we started sending out text messages. If anyone's here that doesn't know yet, we started sending out text messages. We tested it late last week. And we sent one today, and they are just notifications when I'm gonna be live. So, I think we sent one like half hour ago, like that I'm gonna be live again in a half hour. This is still kind of our normal time, but what it's gonna really help is later, because we have baby shenanigans here, right? So next month will be kind of the last of our like normal months, and then after that I'm gonna still try and be live, but it's gonna be less scheduled. It's gonna be open for whatever happens, because who knows what's gonna happen. So, and how I'll be feeling, and if I'll need to go to bed earlier or anything like that. We're kind of preparing for whatever might come with babiness. So we're like, well, how do we let you guys know when we're live? And so we started doing this text message thing last week. Just a sec, I'll keep talking, but I think I'm going to start with, I'd like to do, I've never done the zebra in actual zebra colors. Like I've never done him in black, like black stripes on the like light colored fabric. So I think I kind of want to do him entirely in black. Maybe I'll give him like blue eyes. That'd be kind of fun. Do all black with like blue eyes, and then maybe we do the Z's satin stitch, but like completely different colored thread. So like a super colorful Z, like where we combine threads and that sort of thing. But then like just like a black and white zebra, except for like his little eyes, I think. All right, I like that. That's gonna be my plan. So I'm gonna get some black prepped here. I got a little bit in here, but I'll just start fresh, I think, because I'm going to use up a ton of black on this. But yeah, so because we don't know how to plan for baby, we are going to, I'm just going to be more sporadic with lives basically after March, mid-March. And we've already started changing things. Like I'm not coming on Fridays anymore, and I'm only coming on the first full 3 weeks of the month. So that's what we've been doing for January and February. I'll do that in March as well. Ooh, there. I think I almost got stuck. But anyway, yeah, so we have a text message system now that will notify you when we're live. So these first few weeks, we'll kind of just be getting used to it. So we'll probably send one every day, like right before we go live. But later, when I'm on more sporadically, like I might even like decide at 2 p.m. I'm going to come on for a couple hours even maybe, and we'll like work on the Splendid Sampler 2 or I don't know, something like that, or more on this project or any project. I got that knitting project. But then I can really notify you guys, or like earlier in the day or the day before, that hey, I'm going to be live, we're going to be doing this. And if we're doing like something like big and special or something, like a project that you guys might want to do, we might let you know like the week before or something, so you can gather supplies, just like things related to going live basically. So we're not like spamming you with marketing stuff. It's just about the live here. Anyway, so Grace says, I'm loving the text message. So good. Yay, I'm happy that you're liking it. Again, we don't want to be spamming people, so keep giving me your feedback if you think it's too much or too little, or you'd like to know a bit earlier, or whatever. I'm gonna get my needle miter on here. Let's put them way up here. And my needle. But yeah, I'm excited about it. See how it works. All right. Zebra, where should I start? So I do want to do the, I want to do the chain stitch. So each line, like each of one of his stripes is chain stitch. And then we have back stitch along the outline, some satin stitch to fill in his mouth. Oh, how are we gonna do his mouth? So if I do them all in black, maybe this is a later problem to solve, but like if we do this all in black, his nose will be black, and then you won't see the little smile on him. Maybe we could do his smile in like pink or something. So we could do a pink smile and blue eyes, and that would kind of take care of everything for us. I'd probably just satin stitch over this and try and like figure out where that line went by looking at the pattern. I think we'll do that. All right, problem solved. Good enough. Little pink mouth. Okay. So let's see. Ooh, is this falling weird? No, I think we're fine over here yet. Oh, I must have bumped it. There we go. Hold on. Hold on. This guy's weird. Okay. There, I think that'll be okay for you guys. So, all right, we have the zebra. So let's just maybe start. Let's just start on this long guy by the tail here. And I'm going to tie a little knot on the end. We're going to do our away knot for this. And I think I'm going to go into the front about here, about 3-4 inches away from my starting point. This is basically reserving that thread so we can weave it in later. You guys, I think this camera's kind of weird yet. Hold on. There, hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys. Okay, so the chain stitch, I'm going to do just like a normal forward chain stitch, and then we can start playing with like a reverse chain stitch. I do think reverse chain stitch is really, really great for beginners, and if you haven't done it before. But the traditional way of doing it is just the forward chain stitch. So I'm going to come up at the beginning of my line. I'm going to do this line right here. All right. So again, we're just reserving this thread for later. So we're going to weave in the end. I'm going to kind of hold my hoop in the like the direction I'm going, so I'm going like forward here, so I'm gonna hold my hoop that way. You don't have to do that, but it's comfortable for me. I'm gonna hold a little piece with my thumb, the part that's coming out of the fabric here, and I'm gonna make kind of like a circular shape with the remaining thread, so you can see it kind of going up. And then I'm gonna put the needle exactly back in the same place that we started here. And then I'm going to come up. I only pulled it a little bit, and I'm gonna come up about like a stitch length away. So about 1/8 of an inch, however big you want your stitches. So there we go. And you can see I have that kind of big loop here. I've come up inside that loop. I'm still holding it with my thumb here. And now I can pull the thread through. And my thread, since I came up through the loop, is going to stop that loop from pulling all the way through. Don't pull too tight. Let it still be like a little raindrop shape. If you pull too tight, then it won't have that nice shape. And that's your first little chain stitch. So to do the second one, I'm gonna just hold that there with my thumb again and drop my needle. Kind of got this swooping round shape, and I'm gonna go exactly back in that same hole, which will be on the inside of that teardrop shape. And pull through just a hair, and then come up about that 1/8 inch or so stitch length away. And once I get this far, then I let go with my thumb. The only reason I'm holding it with my thumb is so it doesn't want to suck through that side of the thread back to the back of the fabric. So just holding there kind of keeps it in place. And we're gonna just keep doing this down the line. And if you don't like get right in, so like if I got up through there, I can just pull the thread around so it's back in the loop and pull. There we go. There's a few ways we can do a chain stitch, and we got piles of places to do it on this guy, so we'll definitely try a few different ways. And the direction you go, like I'm going down this way, will change like the direction of the stitch. So, you know, I got these little teardrop shapes connected. You know, the teardrop shapes could go the other direction if I started the other way, but I'm not going to worry about that at all for this piece. I'm just going to go every which way. There might be some reasons that you'd want them all in the same direction. Like if you put a bunch of these next to each other, like a pile of rows next to each other, it looks like a knit fabric almost. In that case, you might want them going all the same direction or something. Grace is asking, when am I due to have the baby? So my due date is May 30th. So we got a few months to go. I actually went to the chiropractor today. The like pregnant lady chiropractor. A couple weeks ago. I feel like I just I've been trying to like work out. And a few weeks ago I did, you know, some arm and back stuff. And it's all very mild. It's like workouts meant for like where I'm at in my pregnancy sort of thing. So hold on, I'll talk about that in a sec, but let's finish this row. So once you get the end of the row, you need to tack down that loop because there's nothing like holding that last little loop in space there. Oops, jeez. You guys, I think you're tumbling forward again. I gotta fix this for you. Hold on. Poor TikTok people, sorry. Sorry, I'm zooming you guys around a little bit today. I think it's actually time for a new tripod is really what's happening. But all right, there we go. So we have that last little loop, and it wants to like bloop out. It needs to be held there somehow. So what we're gonna do is make the tiniest little stitch right on the other side of our loop. So I'm not in the loop. I'm right on the other side. And it's gonna be kind of difficult to see because I am stitching in black, but we got a tiny little anchor stitch right at the end there. Oh, thanks, little Brittany. But yeah, so all right, so I'm gonna come up this way, and I'm gonna do the exact same. I'm gonna do it the exact same way, and then we'll change it up for the next one. Mostly just so I can chat. uh, but yeah, so I went to the chiropractor today because a couple weeks ago I was doing like that mild workout. But there was an exercise in there. I think this is what did it. There was a back exercise in there that I hadn't really done before. With like some bands. Um, and I think that was just a little too much that day. Like I feel like my oh, what's the word? But like my ability to push myself a little bit during a workout, it was up here, now it's like down here. So I can't push myself as much, even though I don't feel like I was even pushing myself. I was feeling like, oh, that was a great workout. But then the next day I had back spasms start. So like in my upper back, nothing to do with baby, I don't think. Like, not like contractions or anything like that. But I had like an upper back spasm that would just like every few seconds would just like spasm and like spread through my entire like one side of the back, and then it'd ease off, and then a couple seconds later it would do it again, like just like, oh god, it's just the worst. So for 2 days I was just like couldn't do anything really because my brain was just on these back spasms, and heat helped. So I was on like the heating pad a lot, but that's only happened to me like a couple other times, and it's annoying. So I was not happy. So we're like, oh, let's kind of make a chiropractor appointment. Maybe they'll be able to help. And we thought we got one for like the next day, but it was like 2 weeks later. So I'm like, oh, that wasn't right. Anyway, I kept the appointment, and the appointment was today. And it was good because I've been more kind of inactive since then, which is stupid. I need to get back into the exercising and riding the bike and stuff again. But now the inactivity has been kind of hurting my back and hips again. So it was good timing, and now I got to get on my like exercise routine and just not push it. So it's just like funny. So like without being pregnant, like my inactivity level, it goes like I have this much leeway before things start hurting for inactivity, and I have this much leeway for when things hurt because I overdo it in a workout. That range has like, gone to here now. So with the pregnancy. So I feel like now I know. So now I can keep my eye on that a little bit more. Crafty Cat's asking, when am I due? I'm due the May 31st. Or not 31st, May 30th. But I think that's like 40 weeks, right? And I think it's more like, I don't know, maybe it's 2 weeks before that. But I don't know, the doctor says it's May 30th, so we'll see. Little Brittany said I had a lot of back pain while pregnant and got a yoga ball. Oh, and would do circles that helped. So that's what they keep telling me. I do have a yoga ball. Gosh, this is still being stupid. I have a yoga ball. I just have to, we've been doing that construction, so I gotta just bring it upstairs and figure out how it's gonna be out of the way. But they just told me to sit on that while I work. But now the person I had today was a different doctor or different, therapist. And she suggested doing those circles and stuff. So I think they gave me more direction. So I think I'll do that next time. Or like I'll start doing that. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing where I have like kind of that circle. So this is still a forward chain stitch, but I'm going to do the sewing method. So what I have been doing is the stabbing method, which is stabbing method of embroidery versus sewing method of embroidery. So stabbing method is where you stab with your needle straight down, you bring it through, and then you stab back up. So kind of two motions there. That's the stabbing method. For the sewing method, I'm going to like make my fabric a little more loose in the hoop. I find that helps. But I always go kind of right to left. But for the sewing method, you go in and out in the same motion. Okay, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm all over on TikTok today. I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to order a new tripod. This one's just not holding anymore, but yeah, you guys probably can't even see. Let's try again, so hold on a sec, you guys. I know I'm kind of all over. We're gonna go up high. Hopefully this stays without falling forward. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me. All right, sewing method, you go in and out in the same motion. So the nice thing about the sewing method for chain stitch is I'm not gonna worry about making that loop. I'm just gonna go in. I'm going in that same hole though, inside the teardrop shape, and then I'm gonna come up right away, a stitch length away. So my needle is in and out in the same motion. And then what I can do is take my floss, I'll push this through a little bit more. I can wrap it around the front of the needle and then pull through. So wrapping it around the front of the needle is like making that loop. All right, so let's do it again. In and out. Wrap around that front of the needle and pull on through. So that's kind of a nice way to do it. And again, that's the sewing method. And we'll do one more. In and out, same motion. Wrap around the front. And then I'm just going to do that final little tacking down. All right, where to next? Suppose we can go back and forth and get these little legs. Let's do that. So for these little legs, I'm just gonna do my normal forward stitch stabbing motion. We'll tighten this up again, and I think we'll do that for all these legs. And then I'm gonna come back up here. We'll start with like another, or maybe we'll start here, and I'll show you the reverse chain stitch, which I actually like a whole lot better. Because you don't have to do this big loop. So again, let's make our big loop. I'm gonna try and do this upright, like not. There, I think we can do this in two. So I'm just gonna kind of place that loop around it. There we go. We're gonna be out of floss soon too. So maybe once I run out of this thread, I'll just start back at the top and then we'll do some reverse chain stitch. And then we'll just have to come around and hit all our little lines later, which is fine. Tack it down. And again, I'm not gonna care really what direction my stitches are going. I'm just gonna go back and forth. Ooh, this time, when I go right to left, it's easier for me to do the sewing method. So I'm gonna go in and out. And this time I actually did the loop and I'm doing the sewing method. I actually kind of do that pretty often. Versus wrapping it around the front of the needle, which I still could do. So like I can still wrap it around the front here, but I just kind of still hold it with my thumb. Tack that down. So I'm doing the chain stitch first because when I go over everything, over the outlines with a back stitch, it will kind of cover up all these starting points. And I think that'll just kind of make it look cleaner and nicer. All right, these two kind of look like just one chain stitch will do. Okay, I'm gonna definitely do that circle on the yoga ball thing because that's really, I think what's getting me the most is like hip stuff. If I sit funny or if I'm inactive, and then that causes the back pain and stuff. Except for the that throbbing pain for those 2 days. I think that was that back spasm thing was its own deal, I think. All right, let's make a chain stitch up this way. We'll do a little sewing method one again. Zoop. I got a little bloopy. Maybe we can fix him. He's fine. All right, anchor that down. You guys, I think I have just enough thread to like do this satin stitch on here. I think I'm gonna just jump down here and satin stitch his little feetsies. I think we'll do it like how we did the yak, where we satin stitched the feet. Oh, we're falling again. You guys. I can see it in the other frame, so anyway. I guess I'll be ordering that tonight. But here we did the satin stitch feet and then just started the back stitch like after the satin stitch. I think we'll just do that same thing here. So I'm gonna do the entire width of the foot here. And then I won't back stitch around it. It'll just be satin stitch. But I think I'm down here and I have just enough floss for this. I think we'll be good. Then we'll start fresh somewhere else, and I'll do the reverse chain stitch. So actually, maybe I'll do it right here. We can reverse chain stitch. Or we'll go here, a nice long bit again. We'll do reverse chain stitch, and we can come up and get these other lines here. That's kind of a weird. Like normally I would start like here and go this way, and I'd probably finish these legs first. But whatever, we'll. I like the long straightaway for show and stuff, so we'll do that first. Couple more stitches here. We're gonna be making this into a quilt, Crafty Cat, and we've actually already started. And we're actually have a lot of it quilted already, because we're doing the quilt as you go method, so I can show a little bit of that later. See, we showed that a little bit the other day. We do have some progress on there, so when we get done with the zebra, we'll be well on our way already. I'm really kind of liking the all black. Like now that I'm stitching it in all black, I know for sure I've stitched this guy a bunch of times and I've not stitched him in all black before, which just seems silly. But I haven't like stitched him in like the real colors yet. But he's so fun to stitch with like colorful stripes, and in the original it had like purple stripes. And he's been in like fabric collections and stuff before. And there he's been in lots of colors, and so I don't know. Never just black though. All right, let's snip there. And I'm also going to just snip our away knot right away. Let's take care of that. So the reason again for the away knot is so I could reserve a piece of thread, and now I can weave that in too. So this just like made it so I didn't start with a knot. I don't like when my thread catches on the knots and everything, and we're falling again. So it's gonna be a silly night for the TikTok peeps. So sorry about that. All right, let's weave in that back and forth. One, two, three. Okay. And flip. All right, so I'm gonna start. You know what? Let's start here, because then I can weave in the ends to the stitches that are already here, and I can just start right up there. I think that'll be a good idea. So I have the other bit of thread here. Let's run it through the floss scent, because why not? Smells yummy. Ooh, but we finally got the house cleaned up a hair from construction stuff. We had plumbing done, electrical, framing, and we got all that pretty much approved by inspectors. And now this week, starting Wednesday, John's family is coming back in town, and it's gonna help. Well, they're gonna start like drywalling our little bathroom and stuff that we put in our half-story attic area. So we decided to to clean up a little bit down here. There's like a nice little film of dust over everything, which yuck. And so now it's gonna just get worse once they're doing drywall. But we have a clean slate again, and it feels really, really good. The living room and just everywhere around here is just so dusty, and I don't know. We're sick of sneezing and stuff, and it just was not being nice. So for a few days, we have it nice and clean here again. All right. So I'm all woven in, and so I'm going to do the reverse chain stitch again. So these were all forward chain stitches. I'm going to do the reverse chain stitch up here. And the reverse chain stitch is very literally the reverse of what we've been doing. So we're going to actually start the row, I should say, with how we end these other rows, which is by making a tiny, tiny little anchor stitch. So I'm making like an itty bitty stitch right here. I'm going to leave it kind of loose, but there we go. We got our tiny, tiny anchor stitch. And now I'm going to come up along the line, you know, that 1/8 of an inch or so, and I'm going to pull up all the way. And now I'm going to go underneath that little anchor stitch. So you might have to like pull it up a little bit, but I'm going to go right underneath that anchor stitch, pull through, and then go back into that same pull for where that stitch started. And there we go. Our first little chain stitch, and it is kind of going, it's in the opposite direction, like the teardrop shape from the other ones that we did. But it's almost as if we ended our row. So we have a chain stitch with a little anchor stitch. So that's how you do the first chain stitch in the reverse chain stitch. After that, what you do is you come back up your 1/8 of an inch stitch length or so, and then you swoop the needle under both sides of that stitch. So the needle is just swooped right under. I'm not going to the back of the fabric. Pull through and then back down. Now, I super duper highly recommend this way of doing the chain stitch. If you haven't done the chain stitch before, it is so nice. You're going a little ride again here, everyone. There we go. Because you don't have to do that big loop, so your thread doesn't get in the way as much. You got a couple motions. You got to bring it up, swoop under, and go back down. So it's almost like doing 2 parts of a stitch. But it's so relaxing. I enjoy it a lot more. So I definitely recommend it. It's not always where my first go-to, just because I haven't been doing it as often, or as long, so I have like just the habit of doing it the other way. But when I got a lot to do, then I err on this side because it's just relaxing and nice. Yep, this is my first child, first pregnancy. It's an old lady pregnancy, but they haven't said that at all at the doctors yet, so that's nice of them. All right, there we go. And the nice thing about the reverse chain stitch is you don't have to do anything special to end. You're just done. You know, I'm on the back of the fabric. I don't have to tack anything down. We're good to go. We are ready for just the next line. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start over here. We'll still do the reverse chain stitch. And again, I'm going to start with our tiny anchor stitch. And then we'll come down for our first chain stitch. I got to dig that anchor stitch out a little bit. There we go. You can pull that anchor stitch tight again too if you want. There you go. And then back in that same hole. There we go. And same thing. Come up for the next stitch. Swoop under that last stitch. And that's all there is to it. So let's see, how far are we? It's 9:06. I think we can probably at least get half of him done, or maybe we can get close to all of the the chain stitches done. I don't think we'll quite get that far. But yeah, after the chain stitches, then, we just have to go, I think the back stitch will take a little bit of time, but after that, easy peasy. I think we'll get them done. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to do really colorful letter Z's. We did that for the koala, if I remember. We just kind of, we did it, a satin stitch with 3 strands, but then we took out like 3 different colored strands for that. And I think that's what we'll do here. We'll just like keep picking piles of random color threads and just make it really colorful. Tracy's asking now, is this the last week for lives this month? Nope, we will be doing one more week after this week, and except for Friday, so I haven't been coming in Fridays anymore. Let's see, where should I go next here? I think I'm going to just jump up to here. Start with that reverse chain stitch again. But yeah, so we'll be on till Thursday this week. And I think we should be able to get real close to being done here, or all the way done. And then next week, I'll also be here Monday through Thursday. So next week will be our last week for February. And I think there's only like 1 week in the middle for February. But yeah, so that's the plan. So next week, I think. Oh, Tracy's like, oh, I was confused. I thought you took the last full week off. This was a weird month where it crossed over with January, so we actually started kind of late. We didn't start our week till the 6th. So this was a little bit weird for the month. So instead of starting in January, still we started, the next week in February. So I think, so it's not so much taking the last week off, it's more that we do the first 3 full weeks. And the first full week wasn't until the 6th. So we went a little late into the month, and I think there's only 1 week left after that. And gosh, I don't even know if it's a full week. I don't know how, I don't remember. But anyway, and then we'll start whatever that first full week of March is. I kind of forget already. We do have it on our calendar though. So in our live stream link on the site, it'll say what it is for March. All right, and I'm gonna just jump on over here. Usually I don't jump this far, especially with black, but we're gonna be stitching over this spot anyway. Oh, that's kind of weird that I did that one next. Huh. I think we'll finish this one, and then maybe I'll jump over to here and see how much floss we have left. So next week, well, for March, I'll say it this way. For March, I want to like totally focus on making this quilt. I don't know if it will get done in those 3 weeks, but I want to like put all the focus into there. So next week, we still have some guys to finish. So we definitely have the turtle to finish. And for some reason, I feel like I'm not sure I ever finished the W, the whale. I was going to check on that today because I got this weird feeling that I wasn't done with it. But maybe I am? I don't remember. So I have to check on the whale, but we might have the whale to do yet too. And then we have to trim Mr. Yak here still. And I think that's it for unfinished embroideries. But we do have the hand quilting that we are doing on the pig, the letter P. I think we just still focus on all the handwork stuff yet next week. And then after next week, I'll get the sewing machine out, all the quilting stuff, and then we'll just try and crank out the quilting. And, we have the quilting and then the assembly, which is all the handwork of the quilt as you go process. And I'm thinking, I paused because I'm thinking, oh man, I'm going to need the other sewing machine to sew straight lines for that. But anyway, we'll figure it out. But it'll be sewing machine central again in March. So next week, I kind of want to get as far as we can with all the unfinished stuff and all the like handwork stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna just jump all the way over here. Those other stripes will kind of hide it a little bit. Yep, gonna just start with my anchor stitch again. I don't know, we might have enough to get all the way to the bottom of this one. That'd be kind of nice. But definitely, I don't think we'll have much, we won't get much farther, so we'll probably end this thread on this row. Although that just made it a lot longer. Maybe a little more. Sometimes you can, like I pulled this kind of tight. I could have just left it be a loop, then I wouldn't have to kind of pick it out here, which is kind of annoying. Pulled it a little too tight. Come on, guy. There. So more of a loop. In there. But I'll take care of that now. So now I'm just going to pull my anchor stitch tight again. Now it's nice and small again. There we go. That's the only thing about the reverse chain stitch. You got to do that little anchor stitch, which is a little annoying, but after that, then it's super duper nice. Have I done any more punch needle? Crafty Cat 62 is asking. I have not, but it is rising up to the forefront of my mind again. And there's an embroidery. So for our embroidery of the months, we're doing all those birth flowers. And you guys, I actually finished drawing them all this weekend. So I've drawn all the way through December. We haven't like stitched them or photographed them or anything, done all that, but they're actually drawn. We're trying to get it done, ahead of baby. But there's one that I really kind of like that I would love to do as a punch needle, like a little mini punch needle rug. So I don't know, that's rising up. I might just all of a sudden need to do that one. The one I want to do is, what month is it? I think it's May, which if that's when baby comes, then that would be bonus points. But I especially like this one, and I think it'd be pretty as a rug. But it's the Lily of the Valley, and I just love lilies of the valley. They're just like so petite and smell amazing, and they're just so pretty. I love them. So that one I do kind of want to make into a rug. I have in my head like, ooh, how can I make like a bigger, because I just have that big round quilting hoop and I kind of want it bigger than that. And like, oh, maybe I can get the boys to make a little frame for me out of like leftover 2x4s or something. I don't know. But I'm that's rising to the top. I kind of want to do the Lily of the Valley month as a punch needle. But the thing is, I'm like, oh man, if I do any of that stuff, it's gotta happen soon, and I don't know. I'm barely anywhere with my knit blankie that I was making. I actually want to make I'm almost done with one of the half square triangles for that knitting project, and then I have the other half. So once I get that one done, I actually want to knit like a little swatch like this big of like the half square triangle, the two colors. Basically, that's what the quilt's like. And I want to run it through the wash because it is a wool, and I'm sure it'll shrink. Like if I use this as a blanket that is like used a lot, like if it's really like a baby blanket, and it's gonna get dirty and need to be washed a lot, right? I'm gonna try and do another line here. I think I might jump actually to his leg because they're shorter here. And this one might be too long. That's why I'm not doing that one, because I don't think I have enough thread to go much further than this one. We're gonna have to jump around and do all these crazy lines. I don't know what I'm doing here, but whatever, it's fine. But yeah, so if I'm gonna be using this blanket as an everyday like baby blanket, it's gonna be run through the wash a lot. So I just kind of want to do a little test, like how is this wool gonna work being washed a lot? So I want to kind of see how much it shrinks and if it looks crazy, and I don't know. If it shrinks, whatever. That's fine. But I kind of want to know beforehand, because if it's gonna shrink a ton, then maybe I'll do the larger version of the quilt or the blanket. but like I'll have time to do that. I don't know. Blanket's a question mark yet, but I've been sort of working on that, but you know, it takes a while. But I would love to do the Lily of the Valley punch needle yet. I don't really see that happening, but it's definitely a project that's rising above others right now in my head. Boiling up. Oh, Grace says, I love Lily of the Valley too. The fragrance is intoxicating. Nolan says, Lily is a great baby name. I know. It fits the criteria too. All right, I think all right, here I'm gonna just do my little anchor stitch again, and we'll try and get the couple going down this way. I don't know if it'll be Lily. And then it would be weird, like what if baby doesn't come till June? Then then it'd be weird to like name her Lily if we were going for like birth month matching. June is Rose, by the way, which is also valid for my old lady flower names. Jenna says it could be a cute rug in the baby's room. I know, that's exactly what I'm thinking. It would just be so cute. I want it to be like bigger, like, I don't know, maybe not 3 feet by 3 feet seems a little bit big, but for like fun, like what I feel like I could accomplish. I'm gonna just do some forward chain stitches here. I think I have enough thread for this little bit. I think I'm just gonna do 2 kind of larger ones, and then we'll weave in the ends. Oh gosh, I almost did an anchor stitch there. That's not what I want. One more. But yeah, maybe like 2.5 feet. I think 24 inches is maybe. Even 24 inches, even like 2 feet would be bigger than what I can do now, but like square, because you know all these embroidery the months are within that square with it coming out a little, so I kind of want that same sort of vibe to it. Dang, I have more thread. Let's do another row here. Ooh, gosh, actually I don't have that much. Chain stitch gets annoying when you don't have a lot of floss. Ugh, I'm gonna just try and come up here. I'm gonna have to like go into the hole here though now. There we go. A little loop. Let's do the sewing method. That'll be easier. Sewing method's easier when you have less floss. Oop, don't come out. Get around that. I won't get that last little bit, but that's fine. Since we're doing the whole thing in black. Oh, I feel like I do have a little mess there. Oh well, I'll try and weave that in. But since I'm doing it all in black, I could actually just do this back stitch and then like pick up those other stitches along the way. Jenna says, maybe you just need a tufting gun. I know. I do really want a tufting gun. I'm a little worried with a tufting gun. Like, I think I would freaking love it, actually. But the one thing is that I think they're heavy, so it's a lot of repetitive stress stuff, I think, with a tufting gun. And that's why they have special, you know, if you do it a lot, you hang it from the ceiling with, you know, one of those retractable cables and stuff. And that relieves, you know, stress on the hands and stuff. But, I mean, I would see if I like it before doing all that. But I'm a little worried about that aspect. It's kind of the same thing. I'm gonna just try and tack this like loop down a little bit more. We're just gonna go around it, and there we go. But yeah, I kind of have the same, actually not the same feeling, but like I like the idea of doing clay too, but just having my hands in contact with clay that much, and just the like repetitive stress or the strength of the hand stuff needed for that is kind of like, I don't know if that would end up being something for me. But I don't know. I do love the idea of having a tufting gun and a whole area to do tufting, like a whole like frame that can be like near a wall. Oh God, I do really, really, really want to do that. So we'll see. I don't know. That's another expensive toy. But until then, I'll maybe do another punch needle. But I do really, really love the idea of having a space and just doing a tufting gun. I really, really do like that idea. All right. Let's get more thread. Oh, it's 9:22 already. All right, so you guys, I think we'll prep this thread. Maybe kind of pick where we go next. I think at this point, let's just like work our way up. Finish this guy up. And maybe we will just pick up these little bits as we do the back stitch. So we could start here, do the rest of the chain stitch, and then start the back stitch. And then the little chain stitches that we didn't get, we could do, and then come back and back stitch that area. Maybe we get these satin stitch feet as we go too. Shoop, get that guy. Work our way around, basically. And then we gotta do all his mane and everything yet. So I don't know, maybe we'll be able to finish all this black tomorrow. I don't know, hopefully. We'll see. Nolene says, names are the hardest things, but the moment you see her, the name will come to you. Okay, I'm gonna count on that because yeah, we have no idea what we're gonna name this baby yet. Oh my God, now I just want like a tufting gun. And a lot more people, like the resources for tufting stuff there's a lot more of that in the US now. It'd be nice. But I don't need a new thing with only this much time before baby that requires time and space. Who knows though? That sounds so fun. I think all of these flowers for the embroidery of the months, I know we only have 2 out so far, but I like all the other ones that are coming up. But I think any of these flowers would be so fun tufted as a rug. So like a nice big square with the little bits of flowers coming off the edge of the square. I think any of these would be pretty as rugs. And I just want to make them. Could add more shading and stuff to it, and they'd all be filled in. But I don't have time for all that. But I do still like the idea of making like a little, like the Lily of the Valley one. But again, I don't know when that one's gonna. Don't know when I do that. I could do a smaller one in my big quilting hoop, but since it's square, it would end up even smaller. So it'd probably only end up like this big, and that's not a rug. That's a wall hanging. It's barely a wall hanging at that. So I'd want it to be like a real legit rug that we put on the floor. All right. What did I say? Let's figure out the path that we'll do. So we got all these little extra jiggers here. Oh, but we could start here. That was a good idea. Let's start here, go down to here, get this little V, and then we can pop up here, come back up, and then we'll be back here for the back and forth. Ooh, I like that plan. Okay. And then we'll get all these little extra leg ones as we stitch around. So perfect. Let's do that. So I'm going to weave into the backs of this guy here. And then we'll come up right next to him. Nolene says, I would love to own a real life zebra. Oh man. I don't know if I'd like to do that. That sounds like a lot of work. But it would be pretty. Like looking out your window every day and him saying hi. I'd be down for that. All right, one more right up there. All right, we are woven in. If I did do anything like that, like a punch needle, Lily of the Valley or anything, that's the sort of thing I would definitely come on live for. Even if I got a tufting gun at some point, I would for sure come up for that too. The other thing with the tufting guns is so much fuzz. At least that's what it kind of looks like. I'm gonna do a little bit here. Let's see if we can get this row done in the next 4 minutes. But like, I almost think you'd have to wear a mask while you do it. And it's loud, so you'd have to get like your headphones on and a space that isn't going to be annoying for people. And then yeah, I think you'd have to wear a mask because it just spits out. You're basically what a tufting gun is like, how we use the little punch needle, and it's nice and slow with the punch needle, and even that I feel like I got a lot of fuzz. But with tufting gun, it does it all very, very quickly. And it depends, like, you still have the loop pile, which is what I do with the just the punch needle. That just means it ends up being a little loop, kind of like how these guys were before we trimmed them all. It was just like a bunch of little loops. So that's like the loop pile. And then you have a cut pile too that cuts it right away. So it's basically doing this, but in one motion. It's actually cutting it. So, I think with that cutting one, which I think is what makes it look like a real rug, that just gets it. You're just spitting fuzz all over in the air, right? From whatever yarn you're using. So I think in that case, you'd kind of want a mask on. So I don't know. Those are the things, like the repetitiveness of like lifting the tufting gun and having to wear a mask and it being loud is the things that make me think, would I really like this? But I kind of still think I would really like to do tufting with a tufting gun. Oh God, it just looks so freaking fun. And you can make these big art pieces. Ugh! Love that idea still. Man, I don't know. Feel like that's gonna be in my future in some way. Just not right now, I don't think. At some point it's gonna bubble all the way to the top. Then I'll have to do it. Alright, 3 more stitches. We for sure got this done in 4 minutes. This is a 3-minute stripe right here. Cruising. So I'll probably stick with the back or the reverse chain stitch tomorrow just because it's more relaxing. I like it. All right, one more. And then I'll come up at the start of that next line just as a reminder that that's where we're starting tomorrow, but I think I would have been able to figure that out anyway. Uh-oh. A little knot there. No, come out, little knot. Too tight to put my needle in like I normally do. Oh, there we go. It just undid itself. Great, and then I'll come up here. That'll be where we start our anchor stitch, unless I forget, and then it'll be a forward stitch, and plop that there. Here's our little zebra so far. I really like him in just black. Oops, jeez, sorry. So I think it'll be cute, and I love the idea that the Z's being a pile of different colors. That's gonna be nice. So, all right, you guys. Okay, so I think that was nice for our first round on here. Oh yeah, that's good. I do like that black. Just the black lines is going to be a lot of just all black, and then like the 2 little blue eyes, and a pink smile. So that'll be like the only color in the zebra, and then we'll go wild on the color for the satin stitch in the letter Z's. I think that'll be the way to do it. Love it! All right, you guys, so it's nice to be back after the long weekend, since I'm not doing Fridays anymore. And I'll be back here tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And if you want to get on that text list, I do have a link below, and then a link in bio if you're on TikTok. And you just put your phone number in there. You'll get like a text back from me saying it worked, and you get a little discount for signing up for that as well. You'll get that text, and yeah, so we'll probably send a text about a half hour beforehand again, just as a reminder that we go on. And awesome. Thanks again for everyone who signed up today. I appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night.